What inspired you to write Trainspotting?
I don't know really. I mean, it kind of happened over a period of time, so there wasn't really just like one thing. I think it was just, you get to a certain sort of point in your life and you start looking back and trying to make sense of everything that's kind of gone before. And I kind of probably needed that sort of time. I was when I started writing, I was kind of in my late 20s, and I was sort of writing about things that happened when I was about sort of 20, 21. So I kind of needed a bit of time and distance from it. And I suppose it was like trying to make sense of my own life in a lot of ways.
What was it like transferring the books Trainspotting and Acid House to film, and what part did you play in the process?
It was different for both of them because with Trainspotting I just sold the rights to the people who I thought would do it best, who were the guys that had made Shallow Grave before. And I was on the set, I did a bit of acting in it, but I didn't really have that much involvement because I was writing another book at the time, and I was living in Amsterdam, so it was, I didn't really want to be involved in it. It was like kind of when you've done something as a book, you don't really want to be involved in it as a film. And the Acid House was different because they wanted me to do the screenplay for it, which I kind of regret doing now because, again, it's like when you've done something in a book, you don't want to go back to it in a film. I mean, I do film stuff. I'm doing a film next week actually, but you like to do original stuff, if it comes to you as a book or it comes to you as a film. That's what kind of interests. It doesn't really interest me to make my own books into films. If somebody else can do that, that's fine.
We are attempting to create a short film dramatisation of our life in Sighthill. What advice can you give that would help us to transfer our ideas and our story to both script and film?
Just be as honest as you can with what you're writing about and what you're saying. And I think also just like kind of try to never see it as finished. Don't be satisfied with what you've got, even if it looks good. Put it away for a bit and look at it with as critical an eye as you can, and think about how you can make it better, because everything you can always make better. I mean, say when I'm doing a book or a film, it's like you put it in and it's horrible because you look back and you think, I can always, if I just spent a bit more time on it. But sometimes you have to let go of it. But you can just no matter how good it seems, you can just keep making it a wee bit better. So kind of don't settle for something that you think is just maybe not quite there. Just give it that extra wee push to see if you can sort of make it better.
What age did you first feel it necessary to write about your experiences growing up in Edinburgh, and why?
Well, as I said, I was probably, I kind of, when I left school, I left school at 16, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I didn't have any qualifications, I didn't have any kind of, any real motivation to do anything, and so I went down to London, and I just basically got involved in music through punk, and got involved in bands. But when the music never happened, I started to get 9-to-5 ordinary jobs, and but I kept an interest in sort of the cultural side of things through clubs. So I was really interested. I really like going out clubbing, and I started putting on club nights and doing different club nights in London and also up here. And then I just I started writing just as a result of, I think, of doing that. I just felt that I wanted to be involved in some things, and I'd kind of like failed in music, and I'd failed in sort of clubs, if you like. So the next thing was to try my hand at writing. So it just sort of it was just basically finding out what I was crap at and eliminating them for the equation, and then hopefully stumbling on something that I could do.
Did you have aspirations to become a writer because you wanted to escape your background, or because you were proud of it?
Yeah, not really. I never particularly wanted to escape. I still didn't really. It's like most of my close friends, like the guys I go to football with and all that stuff, are guys that I grew up with in Muirhouse, and so I've never really wanted to escape my background. I mean, I've always wanted to live in a nicer house and sort of, you know, a bigger, nicer house and all that. But I think everybody does. I mean, a lot of my mates do. Now, most of them do. You know, very few of them still live in your house. Yeah, I've always been proud of where I came from, because I always saw it as an asset. I think that I've met a lot of guys who've come for, and lassies as well, who've come from quite privileged backgrounds compared to me. And I think it does, in the kind of industry like the creative and media industry, I think it does give you a kind of edge. You know, if you can focus it and channel it and not go all over the place with it, I think it does give you, you know, for all the disadvantages, I think, you know, there's advantages as well.